Hello, folks, and oh, that's a weird angle, isn't it? Hello, folks, and a very warm welcome back to The Library is Open. So I hope you've all brought your library cards, my lovelies. How are we all doing? I hope you're very well. Last night we had the second of our Libraries Open book clubs on Le Zoom, in which we discussed Matt Haig's novel The Midnight Library. It was lovely, such a nice environment to be able to connect with people from the channel and to sort of see people in person, as it were, albeit digitally. With that being done now, the time has come once again. The time has come for us to select our third novel for the book club. And this will take place on, drumroll please, so our third session, in the interests of giving everybody adequate time to read everything, I'm going to go with October the 10th, that's a Sunday, at 7:30 UK time, as per usual. That just seems to work best for people, depending on what part of the world you're in. And so that's when that will be. Full details of that will be in the description. And when I announce the winner, which book has been chosen, which will happen next week for the third book club, then I'll give you all the details as normal. But for today, to get to the main vegan meat and potatoes of the subject, I honestly don't know where I come up with these phrases sometimes. I really don't. It's time to introduce the three potential candidates for our book. Now, as per usual, what I've done is ask two people who are on the channel or in the club to propose a book each, and then I've chosen a third one. And then what you need to do is, as you watch this, drop your vote for which book we should read into the comments, and then whichever book receives the most votes is the chosen one. Okay, so without further ado, let's look at the choices, shall we? And what's quite interesting this month is I'm gonna sort of nickname this edition The Way We Live Now, as it were, because they're all contemporary novels that have something to say about the world as we're currently experiencing it, which is excellent. I like to read it up a bit, mix it up a bit. Sorry, we've had a thriller, we've had a more sort of philosophical book, and now some contemporary fiction. So I hope you like the sound of them. I'm very excited by all of them. So the first one is, our first potential choice is Detransition Baby by Torrey Peters. And I'm going to give you the description from the Waterstones website because I think it sums it up quite nicely. So, navigating the complicated waters of family making and motherhood in the 21st century, this exciting and funny debut follows the lives of three trans and cis women living in New York. Now, this was longlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction this very year, 2021. So this is really current. So Reese nearly had it all: a loving relationship with Amy, an apartment in New York, a job she didn't hate. She'd scraped together a life previous generations of trans women could only dream of. The only thing missing was a child. Then everything fell apart, and 3 years on, Reese is still in self-destruct mode, avoiding her loneliness by sleeping with married men. When her ex calls to ask if she wants to be a mother, Reese finds herself intrigued. After being attacked on the street, Amy detransitioned to become Ames, changed jobs, and thinking he was infertile, started an affair with his boss, Katrina. Now Katrina's pregnant. Could the three of them form an unconventional family and raise the baby together? Now, I think that sounds really, really interesting. Touches on a lot of very hot button issues at the moment, but also it, from the reviews that I'm reading, in a very sensitive and considered, intelligent way. And I just think that would be an excellent group read, but the choice is not mine, the choice is yours. So that's choice one, and it's 352 pages, just to sort of give you an idea roughly of the length. So that's choice one, Detransition Baby by Torrey Peters. Potential choice two is my suggestion, and it is called Where We Go From Here by Lucas Rocha, or Rocha, translated by Larissa Helena. And this is a debut novel about three friends in Brazil whose lives become intertwined in the face of HIV. The description is as follows. Ian has just been diagnosed with HIV. Victor, to his great relief, has tested negative. Henrique has been living with HIV for the past 3 years. When Victor finds himself getting tested for HIV for the first time, he can't help but question his entire relationship with Henrique, the guy he had been dating. See, Henrique didn't disclose his positive HIV status to Victor until after they had sex, and even though Henrique insisted on using every possible precaution, Victor is livid. That's when Victor meets Ian, a guy who's also getting tested for HIV, but Ian's tests come back positive and his world will change forever. Though Victor is loath to think about Henrique, he offers to put the two of them in touch, hoping that perhaps Henrique can help Ian navigate his new life. And it says, as things go along, they become entwined in a story of friendship, love, and self-acceptance set in Rio de Janeiro. This is really, really interesting, and it sort of says here at the bottom as well, this brings attention to how far we've come in relation to HIV, AIDS, and the epidemic of, you know, the sort of late 80s to where we are now with PrEP and and safer sex campaigns and so on and so forth, but also medications and stuff. We still have a long way to go and things are not the same across the world. So I think that sounds really interesting. So that is choice 2, and it's 288 pages, Where We Go From Here by Lucas Rocha. Apologies for that, just distracted by the door there. On to our third and final potential choice, which is Tokyo Ueno, or Ueno, I'm sorry if I'm butchering that, I do apologise, Station, by Miri, translated by Morgan Giles, really. Oh, it's gone off, that's fine. And this was a suggestion from an attendee or follower of the channel. Again, I don't always mention people's names because I don't know if they want to be shouted out. Stop it. Thank you. So this is described as a work of post-tsunami literature and a protest against the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. This novel is of utmost importance to this moment. That's very good. A powerful rebuke to the imperial system and a sensitive, deeply felt depiction of the lives of Japan's most vulnerable people. I believe it deals with homelessness as well. Kazu is dead. Born in Fukushima in 1933, the same year as the emperor, his life is tied by a series of coincidences to the imperial family and has been shaped at every turn by modern Japanese history. But his life story is also marked by bad luck, and now in death he is unable to rest easily, haunting the park near Ueno, or Ueno Station. It is here that Kazu's life in Tokyo began and ended, having arrived there to work as a labourer in the run-up to the 1964 Tokyo Olympics, before ending his days living in the vast homeless villages in the park, traumatised by the destruction of the 2011 tsunami and enraged by the announcement of the 2020 Olympics. So I think that sounds really, really interesting. Some heavy choices this month, but I think that's fine. I think that's fine. I think as a club, I think we can cope with light, heavy, and everything in between. And I think that's going to be really good for provoking conversations. So that's your third and final choice by you, Miri, Tokyo Ueno, or Ueno Station, which was published in 2019, just for context, and it's 180 pages, so it's quite slight, but I'm presuming it packs a punch in quite a short space of time. So there we go. Those are your 3 choices. We've got Detransition Baby, we've got Where Do We Go From Here, and we've got Tokyo Ueno Station. So, as I say, please cast your votes in the comments for our 3rd book club meeting, which will be, just to reconfirm, on Sunday, the 10th of October at 7:30 UK time. I will make a proper follow-up video when I've got the final choice and drop all that information as per usual. So if you haven't attended before, you'll know how to, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on this, and I hope you find that selection really, really interesting. But for now, put your library cards somewhere safe, drop me a comment and let me know your thoughts, and I will close the voting on Sunday, this coming Sunday. Today's the Monday when I'm posting this, and the Sunday will be the what date are we on today? It will be the 8th of August. So on the 9th I'll post the video with the winner and all that information. The winner. All right, so as I say, put those library cards somewhere safe, do me a favor and take care of yourselves, and I will see you very soon. Lots of love and have a great week. Mwah. Bye bye.